changing yourself, difficult or easy? Have you ever wondered this? Robin Sharma's story Master the Dawn, Live Extraordinarily explores 5 rules we can reshape ourselves when we join his 5 a.m. club. Rule number 1, we're probably addicted to distractions too much. This really undermines our creativity. Empire builders and history makers spent an hour before dawn enjoying the quiet, getting away from the distractions of life, and preparing for a day to remember. Rule number 2, don't let reason be a barrier to becoming a genius. We cannot delay waking up early for the reason that we have never had such a habit. We need to free ourselves from rational ways of thinking and remember that small daily changes, with patience and persistence, can produce miraculous results. How do you feel about changing yourself? What's stopping you from making small improvements every day? Do you believe that small changes can bring big results? Let's learn together and become the best version of yourself. Rule number 3, every change brings with it an emotional journey from initial difficulty, midway mess, and finally gratification. All the things that you find easy today must have been difficult challenges before. If you stick to making these changes consistently, waking up to the sun will become an automatic habit in your life. Imagine that feeling. Rule number 3, every change brings with it an emotional journey from initial difficulty, midway mess, and ultimately gratification. All the things that you find easy today must have been difficult challenges before. If you stick to making these changes consistently, waking up to the sun will become an automatic habit in your life. Imagine that feeling. Rule number 4, to be as successful as the leader in the 5% group, you must be willing to do things that the majority of 95% would not dare to try. When you start living this way, the majority will probably see you as a crazy person. But remember that being labeled a loser is the price you pay to be great and different. Are you ready to accept the challenge and assert yourself? And finally, the most important rule, when you feel like giving up, get over it. Success always belongs to those who persevere and do not give up. You will be favored to win if you don't give up and keep going. The situation will always favor the brave and determined. Think about the emotions you experienced when you faced the initial challenges. What motivated you to keep going and not give up? Can you see the end goal and feel the joy of future success? In fact, these 5 rules require us to have faith, the real belief that we can change, will definitely change. This is like a child's boundless faith, unafraid to believe in miracles, as geniuses and madmen do. But only we, with our big minds and small hearts, often doubt ourselves, hesitate. Perhaps some of us, at some point, or even now, are caught up in playing games, surfing Facebook, TikTok, and websites with extremist information. And so, time goes by without our knowing, hours go by without sanity. Only when we raise our eyes do we realize that it's too late and it's time to go to sleep with a hazy feeling. What happened in the past time was chaotic, there was no clear order and quickly faded from memory. At the same time, the continued use of electronic devices so much that our eyes fatigue and feel prolonged stress, causing us to sleep more to compensate. This makes it extremely difficult to get up early. We have fallen into the digital and technological world, no longer the people themselves. We become like zombies, glued to the screens of phones and computers. We lose our true existence. We live only fleetingly, like corpses without a soul. Let's ponder together, do we want to continue living in this technological world? What emotions were experienced when realizing the loss and emptiness of being glued to electronic devices? Can we regain our true presence and consciously connect with the world around us? And often, reason might advise us not to waste time on worthless activities. But emotions often make us unable to resist that attraction. We simply can't resist that fascination, and as a result we waste precious hours in actions that don't make sense, just like a drug of choice for most people. Aristotle once said, "Wake up before dawn, for such habits contribute to health, prosperity, and wisdom." In this age of rapid change, with a plethora of distractions and hectic schedules, waking up at 5 a.m. and starting the day with a proper sunrise regimen is truly a treat. A recreational drug for the mundane life. There will be no more hopeless mornings, just imagine what that alone could bring to a new day. Start the day in the peace and quiet that can only come from the morning. Start your day feeling strong, confident, and free. Thinking becomes much sharper as the day goes by. Have you ever tried to imagine waking up at dawn, the fading sunlight shining through the window, and feeling the silence and serenity in that space? You will feel a deep connection to yourself and the world around you. Every individual who excels, whether a top athlete, part-time director, renowned architect or admired cellist, has personally developed the ability to concentrate on optimizing his particular skill for long, uninterrupted moments. This special ability allows them to produce amazingly high-quality results in a world full of people who degrade quality with their distractions and distractions. They do not accept lousy work achievements and mediocre achievements while living a boring and disappointing life. Have you ever protected yourself from distractions? It is a necessary method if you really want to dominate your field and achieve success in your career. Neuroscientists call this peak mental state a flow state. When our consciousness becomes dominant, we open our hearts to unconventional ideas and take a layering approach. Brand new high of execution power. And waking up at 5 a.m., a routine that has long been a fairy tale, is the most powerful way to achieve a state of flow. When we wake up before dawn, when most of the people around us are fast asleep, our creative consciousness also sublimates, our energy doubles, and our work efficiency increases dramatically. True rigor in our approach not only in our work but also in our private lives. It comes from the intrinsic depth of thought, action and self-expression. Perfectionism is not only a strong quality, but also a consistent journey to become the best, to create a superior competitive advantage. But is it so easy to hold the upper hand in business? In this day and age, very few people are capable of doing what it takes to achieve dominance in the industry. The mastery of time has become rare, and those who excel at high levels are hard to find. Have you ever wondered, in this day and age, there are tons of average competition, but almost none of the elite? There is an unprecedented opportunity to become a leader, because too few people are dedicated to being global in this day and age. It's an age filled with distractions, corroded values, and fading belief in ourselves and in our original inner strength. We can dominate the field we are in, because now there are very few of them. Strengthen your resolve, create a passionate soul and raise personal standards. You can focus on making the lifestyle you desire and plan to be your default. This is really important, because we have to optimize every day. Ask yourself, consistency is an inherent aspect of your potential to conquer yourself. And small, everyday improvements, no matter how insignificant, if made consistently and patiently over time, pay off big. Remember that the great companies and brilliant lives in this world were not formed through a sudden revolution, but gradually developed step by step. Small victories and repeated daily actions over a long period of time accumulate and produce excellent results. However, few people today have the patience to endure a prolonged struggle. As a result, only a handful of us can become legends. Meanwhile, extraordinary people have spent so much time practicing excellent behavior that they can no longer remember how not to be excellent. This life is too short, but the memories of a meaningful life will last forever. What makes a person great is not just natural talent but how they realize and harness that potential to turn it into an asset. Many of the best athletes in the world don't possess more innate skills than their opponents, but it's the dedication, determination and energy in making the most of the possible advantages that have made them legends. It has long been said, the problem is not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog's view. When we wake before dawn, we have a wonderful window of opportunity to sharpen our most precious possessions. Imagine that feeling, get some precious time alone, and prepare the necessary gear to make each day a jewel. Successful people know how to make the most of the morning, to get the first win and get ready for a glorious day of victory. But too many of us believe in the ignorance of the majority, thinking that people with outstanding talent are created from a different fabric and receive blessings from the gods of fortune. Outstanding performance. But the reality is different. Dedication and discipline are the key factors that lead to excellence and genius every day of the week. A-rank players don't achieve success solely by luck. They create their own luck. Each time we overcome a temptation and pursue optimization, we are energizing our inner hero. Every small act we take, knowing it's more right than the easy, is leading us into the Hall of Fame, where the names of top achievers are engraved. Imagine that feeling, when each of your steps becomes a steady step on the road to greatness. For example, imagine the story in our mind that doesn't have what it takes to be a great leader in business or to be a great, universally acclaimed artist. surely we will not have the motivation to start the adventure to that destination. Because caste in this world is not a one-time event, but a process. But if we forever keep a limited mindset, always emphasizing that ordinary people cannot become great or genius by their nature, and just trying can't achieve it, then it seems like a waste of time cultivating knowledge, spending hours practicing and prioritizing our deepest desires. What does it mean to invest all our strength, dedication, time and pain if our achievements are only on par with the best, and our beliefs will not never come true? And then, because our daily actions always follow our deepest beliefs, the vision that we cannot successfully materialize becomes reality. Because people act on self-perception, always. I will never go above my personal story. Every human being has an instinct for greatness, a desire to be a hero, and a spiritual need to reach the pinnacle of his or her talents, whether we realize this or not. Many of us have been so narrowed down and overwhelmed by the dark and toxic forces around us that we forget who we are. We become compromisers, slowly and steadily allowing the existence of trivialities to become the standard of our performance. But true leaders never put their standards on the table. They understand that there is always room to grow. They realize that we connect with our self-mastery nature when we reach our peak. Alexander the Great once said, "I fear not an army of lions led by a sheep, I fear only an army of sheep led by a lion." This sentence is so emotional, clearly reflecting the importance of a strong leader. And let's ask ourselves, are we narrowing our vision and limiting our lives? Put yourself in the shoes of the minority who dare to dream big. That would be a wise choice. Muhammad Ali once said, "I hate every minute of my practice. But I told myself, don't give up, just endure now, and you will live the rest of your life in your posture. A champion." This sentence is really inspiring and raises a question for us. Do we have the patience to overcome difficulties, to become great people? Heroes are not born in peacetime. Only when we face crises, difficulties and doubts can our souls become strong, courageous and full of virtue. It is in those moments that we realize our own strength and potential. And indeed, power does not come from living easy lives, but only from lives of dedication, perseverance, discipline, and expression of the great self within us. It is when we overcome the pause, do not give up and be patient that we reach the position of a great warrior, a respectable personality who has been leading mankind to a bright future. And to start your own change, remember that patience is the most important factor. We often struggle most with the most valuable things. So don't give up in the face of challenges, persevere through them. Let's see clearly that doing difficult but important things is how we become strong and become successful and heroic people. When faced with a choice, always choose the most difficult path, for it is the path that helps us develop and discover our personal potential, talents and strengths. So when you feel like giving up, be patient and remember that negative thoughts are just a small part of building a new version of yourself. 1. Hope the above sharing has brought motivation and meaning to you in starting or continuing your journey. Remember, patience is the key to success. The hardest challenges are the most valuable. Wish you have new breakthroughs in life, and if you have achieved small successes, share them with us in the comments section below. See you in the next videos.